Hi there. So, having talked in my last video about disability and illness, I wanted to flip the coin this time and talk about disability and wellness. I'm much better now than I was. In my last video, I had a pretty serious infection actually, and ended up on antibiotics and doing much better now. So yeah, going through a period of wellness, which is fantastic. I did want to talk though about this idea of wellness. It seems to have become very attached to, I think, the wider wellness industry, which is something that I'm not too keen on. I think as a person with a disability, particularly a person with a physical disability, I have spina bifida and hydrocephalus. I've had to really redefine wellness actually. It seems really strange, I know, but it's all kind of relative. You know, I'm not as well as I used to be in general, but there are times where I feel fantastic. And, you know, compared to other people, I might be a person who gets sick a lot. But I can't compare myself to other people. And I think the wellness industry has created a level of sort of competition between people, actually, where health is almost something that has a weird, almost moral component. So if you're not keeping yourself healthy, you're not. There's sort of a suspicion in that, you know. I think we see it with people who are overweight, fat. We see it with all sorts of things, where there's this moral judgment if you're sick. So, for me as a person with a disability, as I said, I've had to redefine wellness. For me, wellness means periods of time where I feel comparatively much better, where I can live what I would consider a balanced life, and where my health is not getting in the way of things that are important to me. So at the moment, I have just started going back to the gym. I've done 2 sessions since May. Back in May 9th, I had a fall in town. I unfortunately was wheeling in one of those sort of civic areas that are very beautifully designed, but often don't take the community, I think, into consideration in terms of usability. So I was wheeling along and I didn't see a step, and basically my wheels hooked on the step, and my right leg, which is amputated below the knee, was driven into the ground. I ended up breaking my femur. So, since May 9th, I have had a time, let's say. It's not been pleasant. It won't be healed properly, probably until around November. They say around 6 months. So, it's been a long haul, and I have a long haul in front of me. Getting back though to a comparative state of wellness has been very important to me. My mental health began to really suffer after I broke my leg. And it can suffer, in times of illness as well. If I have an infection and that infection is persistent, and I can't do the things that I would usually do, then I can get really down. And so I have to take advantage of those periods of time where I feel comparatively well. So as I said, I'm back at the gym, and I'd really love to build my muscles up again because I quite like being strong, and I've pretty much lost all of my muscle. Shouldn't take long to build up. So, it's important, I think, to have goals around wellness as well. Again, not comparing myself to anyone else, certainly not comparing myself to an able-bodied person, but looking at what makes me feel good and what works for me. So for me, it's great to be stronger. I like to have muscles, and I like to be able to lift myself really easily. I like to be able to get around better. Makes me feel really good. Gives me a lot of energy. I feel really energized when I've been to the gym. I feel fantastic. So, that's all been really positive for me. So, as I said, basically to conclude, wellness is not something that I consider that I'm dictated to by other people. Certainly not by the wellness industry. One more thing I will say actually about the wellness industry is I also think that they can be very exclusionary. As a person with a physical disability, and I'm sure others would agree with me, I feel quite excluded, again, basically because I can't compete with able-bodied people in the wellness competition. So I feel like it's not for me. So yeah, I've really had to look at what wellness means to me, and look at the things that make me feel good, and might keep me well for longer. It's been really important to me, actually, particularly having broken my leg, and it's during periods of infection, things like that. It's really important to look ahead to what I can do to help myself when I'm feeling well again, and to look forward to that as well. So yeah, that's basically my take on wellness and disability. All right, see you next time.